So, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another very interesting video in our programming course. And in the previous video we started to talk and we also did some example regarding a recursive function that all it had to do is just to get some natural number, which was num in this case, to read a sequence of num numbers from the user. Okay, so basically a sequence of num numbers, and then the function should return the maximum value in this sequence. And as we said previously, this can be done simply by using some for loop, and that's it. But we did it and we solved it using the recursive approach by writing a recursive function. And in this video, what we are going to do is simply to modify a little bit this question, and instead of returning the maximum value, we will return the minimum value. All right? So that's not a big deal, but still I want to go over this exercise together. So I've left also the template of the solution of the previous solution, and we are just going to modify a couple of things and to make sure that we understand once again the whole concept and the whole process of solving this exercise using recursion functions. So with that being said, let's start working. Okay, so basically let's just modify the previous so if we have this example of num equals to 3 and we have this sequence of 1 3 2 in this example, so now basically the find min function should return the value of 1 because that's the minimum value in this sequence. So let's first of all modify this find max to be find min, and we will have also int num. And now we will simply also modify the variables names. So minimum so far and the user input is going to remain the same. And what we are going to do is just also modify it here. So minimum so far, find minimum for num -1 and minimum so far. And no, basically about that I want to talk to you guys. Okay, what do we want to do? Basically, we want to write this function to have some general structure that all it will be able to do is to find the minimum for a given sequence of numbers that it's going to read from the user. So if we have 3 numbers, this find min for the value of 3 will be able to find the minimum value in a sequence of 3 numbers. Then, in a recursive call, we are going to call this function, again, find min, with the value of 2, and then we will assume that the function find min will be able to find the minimum value between the two. And as we said also previously, okay, that's very important for you to maybe to write it down, I don't know, make some note or whatever guys you're working with. Basically, the base case is for this function find min for int num equals to 1. That means that we want to find the minimum, okay, when we have a sequence of just one number. And that's the base case using this recursion function. And if we know that if we have just one number, then definitely this number in this sequence, which is the user input, that's definitely the number that is going to be returned, okay? Awesome. So that's also something that I wanted to say in the previous video, but I decided that I will add it in this one. So the approach was like this. We are making some function. If we are talking about the previous video, we had like find max for a given num. So basically, if we will generalize the function functionality, it can get, the previous function can get some number, okay, which will represent a sequence that this function will be able to return the maximum value, or like in this case, in our current exercise, it will be able to return the minimum value. All right, awesome. So now what we have to do is basically to go with pretty much the same approach and ask the following question. We are looking for the minimum so far. Okay, so minimum so far equals to find minimum so far. That's not a problem. That's something that we've done also previously. And now we are going just probably to edit this condition. So if the user input is less than the minimum so far, okay, so if that's the case, if the current input is less than the minimum so far received from the user in this sequence, then in this case we will return the user input, and otherwise we will return the minimum so far. Okay, so that's basically it for what I wanted to show you for this exercise. Let's maybe build and run it to see and to make sure that everything works pretty much as we expected. So let's go and build and run it. Build and run. So enter number 3. So whoa, what happened? What happened? We didn't call the function. So let's just call the function. What's its name? Find min. So find min. And then we will specify the number, which in this case is num. Let's build and run it once again. So enter a number 3, and now enter an input. So we said, what was it in this example? 1, 3, 2. So 1, 3, and 2. And we expect that this function, using this recursive approach, recursive manner, will return the value of 1, since this value is the most the minimum. Okay, awesome. So press enter, and what happened? Oh, nothing happened because we didn't read the result. Okay, sorry guys. Basically let's do it like int result. So result equals to find min. So let's build and run it. So build and run it. Enter a number 3, enter a number 3, 1, 3, and 2, and what happened? I didn't print it. This video is something, okay, because the minimum value equals to, that's the problem when you take some exercise and you want to modify one thing and to run it to make sure that everything is understandable, but not going into all the details. So a lot of times things get messed up. So enter a number. Hopefully this one will work. So 3, 1, 3, and 2, and the minimum value equals to 1. So basically this is it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it very, very useful. Make sure you can write this function on your own. Keep on practicing, and we are going to see each other in the next videos. Until then, bye bye.